schools in China, international schools in China, by the way. And again, this is like the majority. I'm not saying it's every school, but I'm saying it's the majority, okay? What you have are white faces, easy grades, right? It's really easy to get a good grade, all right? Some top students, these students are given scholarships, and then they're sent to top universities. Okay, then you have lots of cheating, okay, and high turnover, where students leave, teachers leave, but new ones come in, so who cares? Okay, and this is what it looks like. This is what happens when you take the interests of these different players, you converge them together, and this is what schools look like today. Just lots of white faces, lots of really nice buildings, lots of fancy activities, great marketing, beautiful website, really motivate admissions officers. Then you have easy grades where everyone gets an A, no matter what you do. You have some top students who will get into good schools so that the school can brag about them. You have lots of cheating going on. Okay? If you don't get a good grade, just complain and you get a good grade, okay? So that happened to me at the school where I tried my first year to give fair grades, okay? And a fair grade is not like, I give you a 20, I give you like an 80. And students complain about me. So I'm stuck giving them like a pass-fail, all right? So it's not hard for students to get to pass. If you don't like a teacher, just complain and then the teacher has to change. And so now you have high turnover where teachers feel stressed out and where parents are never happy and where students don't care. Okay? Does it make sense? This is why schools suck. And I'm saying they suck not just in China, not just in other schools, but in most places around the world. And it has to do with the superstructure of society. Okay? I mean, like, the point of today's class is not like schools suck, don't go to school. The point of today's class is we're trying to analyze why schools are the way they are. And one way to analyze it is by figuring out at what point, okay, do the different players converge, right? So think of, you have different sets, right? Okay, parents, teachers, students, government, colleges, okay? And their convergence point is the game they play. Okay? Now, what's important for us to understand is that there is actually a lot of room to this convergence point. So it's possible to do reform, but only within a subset of this convergence point. Okay? So my problem is, back in 2008, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna set up a new universe, my own world. I'll make up the rules, I'll be God, and you just have to play the game I tell you to play the game, okay? And that's why everyone is like, you're an asshole. Okay? Whatever you do, whatever game you set up, has to be within this convergence point in order for players to accept it, okay? And this is true for everything. If you want to implement political reform anywhere, you have to figure out where the different stakeholders converge and figure out how to move the stakeholders from one part of the convergence point to another part of the convergence point, okay? This slow incremental reform. But in game theory, what I want to teach you is that it's because they themselves are playing different games, okay? So let's look at parents. Okay, parents have different identities. They are family, they are colleagues, okay? And depending on their identity, they're playing a different game, all right? So what does family mean? Family means that you might have brothers, right? Brothers. What do brothers do? They compete against each other, right? You You have 3 brothers. You want to prove that you're better than your brother. How? Well, by having more money, by having better kids, by having a more beautiful wife. Okay, that's the game they're playing. Right? But then you have colleagues. You have colleagues, and the game you're trying to play there is to get along with your colleagues, because that's what ensures your success in life, okay? So you need to make sure that your child, no matter how he or she is educated, is able to become friends with the sons and daughters of your colleagues. Okay? So, because this is what ensures success. All right, and so there are other games as well. But you understand this, right? You understand how parents, so calculation isn't just like, I want my kid to be successful. No, you're thinking about how to play different games and be successful in other games, right? Because if your kid becomes very successful, but not in a way that pleases the colleagues, you can be thrown out of the game, okay? The thing that people fear the most is the idea of ostracization, okay? Or basically just exile, where you are no longer part of the group. They kick you out as a player, okay? That's what people are afraid of. And that's why people are motivated by what they do, because they're trying as hard as possible to play the game and get along with the other players, while at the same time competing against them. So it's a weird psychology, okay? You're trying to beat them, at the same time, you don't want to piss them off and get thrown out of the game, okay? And this is what prevents the idea of cheating. But from the perspective of the game, if you do anything different, that's still cheating, okay? Because, so another way of saying this is, a lot of the rebellion against what I was doing as a reformer is I was subverting traditional Chinese values, okay? I was arguing against the norms, the values, the conventions of this country. And so if people believed in me, then they risk themselves being ostracized by the larger community. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, so that's parents. Then you have right, okay, but students, right? So students, they're trying to play a game where they do well in school because that ensures a good outcome, but at the same time, students play other games as well. So for example, a friendship game, right? Which you're trying to have as many friends as possible. You're trying to be popular in school. That's another game you play. You're also trying to please your parents, right? Because by pleasing your parents, that ensures that you have an easy, comfortable life. In fact, you could argue that of these 3 games, pleasing your parents is the most important. Then comes having good friends, because that will also ensure your success in life. And the game that you care the least about, that matters the least, is actually doing well in school. Learning in school. Okay? Does that make sense? So game theory, it sounds easy, but it's very, very complicated, because we're complicated individuals. Each one of us has different identities, has different motivations, and has different outlooks. And also, what's really important for us to understand is we're always changing as people, okay? So the way that you behaved in kindergarten is not the way you behave today in high school, and it will not be the way you behave when you enter society. You're always changing because the game's always changing, and you must adapt to new games that have different players and have new requirements, okay? So that's wonderful about us, where we are easily adaptable, where we are resilient, okay, but we are always changing according to the game, and we are who we are is often determined by the nature of the game. Okay, so you could have come into school wanting to learn, being creative, and all that, but eventually you recognize that that's not really rewarded in school. All right, getting along, having lots of friends, helping other students cheat, that's rewarded. And so you adapt to the game. And that's why you behave the way you do. Okay? And if you actually go back and think about everything that you did in school, the answer is you're responding to a certain incentive or rule of the game. Okay? And that's what we need to understand about game theory. Game theory, it's not about ideas. It's not about ideals. It's not the way things should be. It's the way things are. And the way things are determined by who players are. And the way players behave is a response to the game they believe they're playing. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so thank you. Any more questions?